Have you ever taken leftovers from the fridge, warmed them again, and thought, this is completely fine? What if that simple habit is quietly changing the way food behaves inside your body, especially after 60? Most people never question reheating because it feels normal, safe, and convenient. But here's the part many seniors don't realize. Our body becomes more sensitive to certain compounds that can form in food when it is processed, stored, and then reheated again. This doesn't mean every reheated meal is harmful, but some foods, when handled the wrong way, can develop substances that are not ideal for long-term health, especially when eaten regularly. In this video, I will reveal the common foods that turn into a serious cancer risk the moment you reheat them. You might be unknowingly turning your healthy leftovers into a cancer bomb that triggers dangerous toxins in your body. Pay very close attention to number 4, as it is scientifically the most dangerous food on this list. Every senior must avoid reheating this one starting today to stay safe. Before we dive in, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments, which food do you reheat most often in your home? And the first food on this list might already be sitting in your fridge right now. Number 1. Processed meats are everywhere. Sausages and packaged meats that are easy to store and quick to eat. For many seniors, they feel like a simple option. Just heat them up and the meal is ready. But here's what most people don't think about. These foods are already heavily processed before they even reach your kitchen. They often contain preservatives, like nitrates and nitrites, which help keep the meat fresh and give it that appealing color. On their own, in small amounts, they are commonly used in food production. But when processed meats are heated again at high temperatures, especially multiple times, these compounds can change and form substances that are less friendly for long-term health. For seniors, this matters more. As the body ages, it becomes more sensitive to oxidative stress and inflammation, and frequent intake of highly processed, reheated meats may add to that burden. It's not about one meal, it's about a repeated habit over time. Another thing to notice is how these meats are usually cooked. Frying or reheating at very high heat can create advanced compounds that are harder for the body to manage. This doesn't mean you must completely avoid processed meats, but it does mean they are not the best choice for frequent reheating.
A better approach is simple. If you do consume them, try to heat them only once. Avoid very high temperatures and balance them with fresh, whole foods. Even small adjustments like this can help reduce unnecessary stress on your body. Processed meats are convenient, but convenience sometimes hides what's happening behind the scenes. Being aware of how they react to reheating can help you make choices that better support your health over time, especially after 60.
Number 2. Vegetable oils, like sunflower, soybean, corn, and canola oil, are used in almost every kitchen. They seem light, clean, and healthy, so people often cook with them and then reheat the same food again without concern. But here's where things quietly change. These oils are rich in unsaturated fats, which are sensitive to heat. When you heat them once, they start to break down slightly. But when you reheat them again and again, especially at high temperatures, they can form oxidized compounds. These compounds are not ideal for the body, particularly for seniors whose systems are more sensitive to oxidative stress. You might not see this happening, but there are small signs. The oil may smell stronger, look darker, or feel heavier. That's your signal that its structure has changed. Over time, regularly eating food cooked in repeatedly heated oils may add extra stress to the body's natural balance. This doesn't mean you must avoid these oils completely. The key is how you use them. Try to cook with fresh oil each time. Avoid reusing oil for frying, and keep the heat at a moderate level instead of very high. Simple habits like this can make a big difference in maintaining better food quality. For seniors, this becomes even more important because the body works slower to manage damaged fats. So keeping your cooking oil fresh and limiting reheating can help support overall well-being in a gentle, practical way.
Number 3. Beets are known for their rich color and natural nutrients. They are often praised for supporting circulation and overall health. But when it comes to reheating,
there is something many people don't realize. Beets naturally contain nitrates, which are compounds found in many vegetables. In fresh form, they are generally part of a balanced diet. However, when beets are cooked, stored, and then reheated multiple times, these nitrates can slowly change into different compounds that are not ideal if consumed frequently in that form. Again, this is not about occasional use, it's about repeated habits. Seniors, in particular, may want to be mindful because their bodies are less efficient at handling certain chemical changes in food. Another issue is how beets are stored. If they sit in the fridge for too long after cooking and are then reheated again, their quality drops, not just in taste, but also in how the body responds to them. The smart approach is simple. Enjoy beets fresh, or if cooked, try to eat them in one sitting, or avoid reheating them multiple times. You can also use them cold in salads, which keeps their natural profile more stable. Beets are not a bad food. In fact, they can be very beneficial. But like many foods on this list, the way you handle them matters more than the food itself. Small changes in storage and reheating habits can help you get the benefits without unnecessary risks. Number 4. Potatoes are one of the most common foods in every home. They are simple, filling, and easy to cook. Many people boil them, fry them, or turn them into different meals, and then later, they reheat the leftovers without thinking twice. But this is where a small mistake can happen. When potatoes are cooked and then left to cool slowly at room temperature, they can create a condition where certain bacteria may grow, if not stored properly. One known example is Clostridium botulinum, which can develop in low oxygen environments like wrapped or stored potatoes. This doesn't happen every time, but improper handling increases the risk, especially if the potatoes are kept out for too long before refrigeration. Reheating does not always fully remove the effects of poor storage. That's why the issue is not just reheating, it's how the potatoes were handled before reheating. Seniors should be more careful here because the body becomes more sensitive to food safety issues with age. There is also another side to consider. When potatoes, especially fried or roasted ones, are cooked at very high temperatures and then reheated again, they may form compounds like acrylamide. This is a substance that can appear when starchy foods are exposed to high heat. While occasional intake is common in everyday diets, frequent reheating at high temperatures is not the best habit for long-term health. The safe and smart approach is simple. After cooking potatoes, let them cool slightly, then store them quickly in the fridge. Avoid leaving them out for long periods. When reheating, use moderate heat and try not to reheat them multiple times. Even better, prepare only the amount you need, so there is less need for reheating at all. Potatoes themselves are not the problem. They are a valuable part of many diets. Number 5. Fried foods are everywhere. Crispy snacks, leftover fries, fried chicken, or pakoras saved for later. They look even more tempting the next day when you heat them again to bring back that crunch. But this is where things start to change in a way most people never notice. When food is fried, it absorbs oil at high temperatures. That oil has already been exposed to heat once. Now, when the same fried food is reheated again, especially in a pan or microwave, the fats inside it can break down further. This repeated heating can lead to the formation of oxidized fats and degraded compounds, which are not ideal when consumed regularly. There is another detail many people miss. Fried foods are often cooked until golden or even slightly dark. That color comes from chemical reactions that happen at high heat. When you reheat those same foods again, especially at high temperatures, it can increase the presence of compounds like acrylamide, which forms in starchy fried items, such as fries. For younger people, the body may handle occasional exposure without much issue. But after 60, the body becomes slower at managing these changes. Instead of reheating fried items multiple times, it's better to enjoy them fresh and limit leftovers, or reheat them gently without very high heat. Even the texture tells a story. When fried food feels heavier or oilier after reheating, it's a sign that its structure has changed. Fried foods are enjoyable,
and there's nothing wrong with having them occasionally. But when reheating becomes a habit, especially with already fried items, the food is no longer the same as it was when first cooked. Being aware of this helps you make choices that feel lighter on your body and easier to manage over time. This video is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If this helped you see your daily habits in a new way, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your one step today can make a real difference tomorrow.